Ndugu Mheshimiwa Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, Mheshimiwa Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, Mama Margaret, Mheshimiwa William Ruto, Mama Rachel, and when Sally spoke here, I know her to be very exact, so people may have wondered, because she recognized Mama Ngina Kenyatta as the former First Lady. Mama pia tukutambua. Waombolezaji wenzangu, yangu mimi inaweza kuwa marefu sana, lakini ninaomba tu ruhusa nitaje mawili matatu. Your Excellency, I think we need to move from mourning Mzee Moi, and I agree with you that you chose yesterday not to mourn, but to celebrate an iconic leader, a great father of this nation who has lifted us from all corners of the Republic to be leaders. And so, in celebrating his life, a fellow like me, as Mzee Kibaki would like to say, a fellow like me, coming from Sekuru, where, by the way, we have a big invasion of the locusts, well, has no reason, absolutely no reason, but to thank God for the life of Mzee. Huyu Mzee, kweli ni baba yetu. I lost my father about a year and a half ago in 2018. And because he couldn't attend my father's funeral, he dispatched Brother Gideon and did refer to the family. And it was not enough that he sent Gideon with his message, but he organized that I come, and he received me like a royalty. I remember we ate goat. There was no Dr. Silverstein around that day. And it was great. And the things that he told us, I'm sure Brother Gideon will always remember. In fact, when we last tried to touch base, he told me, don't talk. Mzee alisema. And so the great family of Mzee. You know, we consider you part of our life. You allowed Brother Raymond as now the leader in the family. You allowed Mzee to serve all of us. And as I think somebody said, I think my brother, Speaker Ole Kaparo, hamkuwa na chuki. Sema, you guys, you've taken our dad, you allowed him to serve this country. Let me just say, in terms of regional integration, and that's why I said, Mr. President, that we need to move from mourning now to really carry forward Mzee's legacy. And I know that you are determined. Look at regional integration. When Mzee Moi asked me, along with now Prime Minister Rugunda of Uganda, Ndugu Kikwete had not even become foreign minister, there was Regasira, who was nominated by Mzee Mwinyi, to jumpstart the East African community. We did not spare any effort. And within no time, Mzee was so determined, after he had patched up even with his brother, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who recognized him as Mzee. And that recognition is what shaped the route now to Arusha, the capital of the region. I think, Your Excellency, the beautiful anthem, East Africa, Jumuiya Yetu, in order to remember Mzee and really actualize his vision, we need to move to that federal state. This is what I see as something that is doable. And because I've had time to discuss with His Excellency President Uhuru in some detail, even where we feel there are some people a little sluggish, you can move the community integration. With our brothers in South Sudan, and you have helped tremendously our brothers in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Eastern Congo relies mainly on imports through the port of Mombasa. I just want to remind us of Mzee's other vision, that of seeing whether Mombasa could be another Singapore in the region. Indeed, as his foreign minister, I traveled with him. He went for benchmarking in Singapore. He believed then that Mombasa could be a free port. Your Excellency, even without referring to you, recently I've really reinvigorated this dream. because there are people already saying our port of Mombasa is dying because of standard railway gauge, and yet it is possible to convert Mombasa to a free port, and all the business, whatever else together with standard railway gauge, moving forward, we'll be able to create a Dubai in this country. Your Excellency, this is the way I think we can also move. You know, IGAD, you heard from your brother President Gule yesterday that Mzee Moi really was a pillar of a revitalized IGAD. When we removed the double D, because it used to be for drought, desertification, and development. But we removed one thing about drought. I think we should now go back to the basics, because I remember I chaired the Ministerial Committee in Djibouti, which amended the IGAD Charter. And now it is development. I've given a lot of priority to peace and security arrangements within IGAD. And I think that's why you have asked me to assist our brothers in South Sudan. I'm sure you met your brother, President Salva Kiir. You know the urgency of the situation. All a progression of what General Lazarus Sombayo and ourselves tried to do for people of Sudan. There's work to be done. We can accomplish this. The signing of the Comprehensive Peace Agreement in Nairobi under Mzee Kibaki, and now actualizing the nation state of South Sudan. This is work that is easily under your tutelage, Your Excellency. You can do that in great remembrance and memory of Mzee Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. All what General Lazarus Sombayo and my sister Sally said, I really associate myself with a lot of that. In fact, I was going to ask Sally, because she gave a detailed, very important documentation on how to run a government as head of civil service, particularly where there will be no leakages of government secrets. Under Mzee Moi, that could not be tolerated. I wanted to ask my sister Sally to convert that document in memory of Mzee to a small booklet, which I think should go to the Kenya School of Government, so that people can know how to assist in ensuring that we move our country forward. Therefore, IGAD, Your Excellency, I think we should now go back to the basics, because this locust invasion has become terrible. It's even crossing over to Tanzania, and I know you're doing the best you can. Maybe we revitalize, go back to Desert Locust Control Organization, which is actually based in Addis Ababa and headed by a Kenyan by the name of Dr. Stephen Njoka. Strengthen this locust thing, because your country has a bumper crop this time. And just imagine the devastation this is going to do. Again under IGAD, which Mzee Moi worked so hard for. Allow me then to conclude my remarks, because time, clearly, I'm sure the military would want to take over from us. And just say that Mzee, at the personal level, really mentored us. I remember at a CHOGM conference in the country next to Australia. We were there in 1995 when Ken Saro-Wiwa died in Nigeria. Mandela insisted that Nigeria be kicked out, Sani Abacha, and then of course that we were there with Mzee as a leader of delegation, tremendous leader. He would always, as leader of delegation, write some special notes to me, some of which I value. I remember while in New Zealand, he told me, Stephen, when troubles come, they don't come singly. That was in response to a